hanging fact, the only woman to be executed by hanging was Ava Duggan in 1930. Something went wrong and her head came off. So you can go Google that one. Maybe we'll talk about that one at some point. With only hours to spare, Winnie Ruth Judd was declared insane and sent to the Arizona State Hospital with one stipulation. And just think about how fucking insane this is. The stipulation was this: if she was ever to be rehabilitated and found sane, she must be immediately hanged. So you did real good. We got you cured. Death, killer, death. So Winnie lived at the hospital. Imagine this. She lived at the hospital for 40 years. And I'm just going to throw out my opinion of what I've seen of the facts. It sounds a lot like self-defense. Like, it sounds like a lot like these girls got in a fight. It was either way, whether it was self-defense or an accident, it was probably one of those two things. It doesn't sound like she just rolled up there with the intent to just like murder her friends and chop them up and put them in trunks. A lot of that sounds like it was kind of, other than the actual, murder stuff, the boom, boom, pow, pow. It sounds like a lot of the other bits of this that make it more horrifying, that really makes it to where we're talking about it today, was as a result of Jack Halloran. It doesn't sound like a lot of that really even came from Winnie. Put the bodies in the trunks, do this, get on the train. A lot of the really more morbid details, and let's just face it, we're talking about those because there was chopped up bodies in trunks that she put on a train and tried to go to L.A., right? If this had just been just your old run-of-the-mill murder, we probably wouldn't be talking about it as much. So just insane. She lived there for 40 years. She escaped 6 times. The nurses were so fond of Winnie that they gave her a key to the front door of the hospital. They never even changed the locks after her escape. She was super popular. She even became a sought-after hairstylist. She started doing finger waves for the women in the hospital to make them feel better about themselves. So how cool is that? Soon it became fashionable for her, for women to go, of the women of high society, to go and have their hair done by Winnie at the state hospital. The longest of her escape lasted 6 years. That is correct, 6 human years. During her 6 years from the hospital, Winnie became a nurse to a wealthy woman in California. The lady really loved her. She urged her to stay. They left her some money, as well as a house on her property upon her death. Unfortunately, Winnie's nephew, who was blackmailing her, threatened to turn her in if she didn't give him her paycheck. So what are you going to do? You're just going to call the police and live at the rich lady's house? So they did just that, and the police arrived at the rich lady's house and took Winnie back, took her away, back to the state hospital. But luck was on Winnie's side. She got some lawyers. They hooked her up. They got Winnie paroled finally in 1971 after 40 years living under the shadows of the noose. So there's a lot of questions. Self-defense? Murder? What the fuck is up with Jack Halloran? Drama? I mean, it's just a really twisted tale. Was she guilty? Was she innocent? It's probably something in between. But 40 years of her life at the state mental hospital, struggling to survive. The world may never know. Either way, murder is always really fucking scary. But you make it really, really, really fucking scary when you chop up bodies into a hat box and some steamer trunks and try to take it from Phoenix to L.A. Have you had a really fucking scary experience? Have you seen a ghost? Have you been on a macabre adventure? Would you like to share it on air? Would you like for us to tell that story? Or you just have something horrid that you would like for us to talk about? Head over to PaleHorseMediaCo.com. Use the contact form to let us know all about it. Make sure that you subscribe. New episodes come out every single Friday. We look forward to continuing this creepy, crawly, morbid, macabre, and grotesque adventure with you, the listener. We love you, and we will see you soon. Thank you for joining us today on our trip into the dark. We hope that you join us again next week for all things horror, all things macabre, all things grotesque, here on Really Fucking Scary